my whole life I haven't been getting credits. Like you said, it was so hard to find stuff on me. It's because it's never been my thing. I've always wanted my own thing. So, and I know I'm gonna get it. So I don't need yours. Like I don't even care. It's kind of crazy because I know once mine hits, it's gonna be like a problem.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today we got a very special guest in the building, man. From Chicago, back home.
Back home, yeah.
You've worked with a lot of amazing artists, bro. The Hxliday, Jeremih, G Herbo. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Louie. I'm from Chicago, like you said. I produce, engineer. I make songs too. I do pretty much everything. When you do music, you just start doing everything. It starts with one. You just never know where you end at.
So then what was the first one you picked up and then worked your way around?
Producing. So like, I'm pretty sure it was like I heard Kanye sound, right? The first College Dropout. And I was like, okay, this music just sounds too crazy. And then I had to get an MPC, got a Triton, like had to pick up all the stuff, And then from there, it turned into engineering because when you're the only person who knows how to use the stuff, it's like, okay, now you're recording. Yep. And then it's crazy. I had a job and I sold a car to my buddy and he never put it in his name. So this man got my car towed. It's like they crushed it, they junked it. And I had like a stain on my record because of that, because the car needed to get emissions. It was an old school. And the whole time I didn't even know, right? So the job I had, they ended up letting me go because I needed to drive for that job. And then that's when I became like a full-time engineer. Like the neighborhood was already coming to me. And then it's like, okay, now it's serious. And so it's like the universe, God kind of just put that in front of me, Like I was like, oh. So pretty much how that second piece came. And then just from being in the studio every day, you start songwriting, you start experimenting, just like working every day pretty much.
That's one of those signs that you just got to take it and run with it.
Yeah, as soon as you see your window, you gotta go through it.
That's just like how I was explaining to you the After School Matters program. It wasn't even one of those things I was looking for. I had run into somebody that was working for them at a video shoot. And they're like, oh, what do you do? I explained to them. They're like, oh my gosh, that would be so cool to create a program. And from there, I'm going on year 3 probably. And when I first got there, I didn't realize like all the benefits. But as soon as, I realized, man, we're doing what we got to do.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that early on there was a lot of, neighborhood talent coming to you. Who were some of those people, and how did they help you develop your skills to get you to where you need to be?
First off, I always had my nephew. My nephew, like my blood family, he raps, and he's been rapping since he was a kid. So me and him been doing what we've been doing since day one. And like he did a commercial too. You probably seen his face. He had like the Reese's commercial. So that kid, he was the one with the bowl of cereal.
The Reese's Puffs. Yeah, Reese's Puffs.
So that's my nephew. So like talent's always been around me. Then like my buddy Ari Styles, he's from back home too. He started bringing people around. He brought Reese around me. He linked me with Reese, and then from there, me and Reese was locked in. And then one of my other buddies, LC, linked me with my guy Main. Then Main, he's Glow Gang, Main 4CG. Probably not. He's been locked up for the last few years. He's about to get out like in 2 weeks, which is amazing. But so it's like everybody I linked with is usually through somebody, like they always put me with them. And then we just became like locked in. So it's like and then it just trickles down from there. Once somebody, how it works back home. Someone sees you with this person, like, oh, he's good, okay. And then you get the vouch, and then it's like, okay, he could be in the room with us. Yeah.
You need somebody to say, hey, this guy's valid.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how, we think back home.
Do you see that out here in LA?
What I noticed out here, the work speaks for itself. So someone could tell you something, but you still have to deliver. So like the situation out here, how like what happened? Oh, Kosha, Kosha from back home. So Kosha, he was out here, and he called me out of nowhere, and he was like, yo, I got a session, pull up. And I was like, cool, send me the address. He sends me the address. I pull up 2 minutes away, right, from where I'm at. I'm like, 2 minutes away? What? I could walk here, right? So I go across the street and it's the studio. And then it's so funny, the first time I came to LA, before I even lived here, I went to the studio with a Lil Zay session. And I was in the studio like, man, this place is amazing. I would love to work here one day, you know? And then sure enough, Kosha put me back in that building. Keep in mind, I was living here for like 4 months already. Didn't even know that studio I was talking about was right across the street from me. And then went in there, chilling in the session. The engineer didn't show up yet. So I was like, I'll record. I'll record until he gets here. And the owner happened to be in the room while this was happening. And he's like, he seen me working. By the end of the session, he was like, I'm gonna start calling you when I need you. And it just like everything just fell in place. And then from there, I was working with Doughboy, was working with TJ, everyone who was coming through, you know, like just anyone you could name, you know, like it's crazy out here. Like you just, once you get busy, it gets going.
So let's take it back a little bit, right? You know, you've been able to work with these amazing names and continue to build that resume even to this day, right? You're still able to live your dream, which is what a lot of people wish they could do. They wish they could pick up everything from back home and just come chase it. You had already established the workflow out in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Why leave that if you already had the clientele?
I needed more like productivity. So like back home, like not to say nothing bad about it, it's just we just do things differently. So I took a couple of trips and my guy Tifo, he took me to Atlanta with him and he showed me their work ethic. And their work ethic was like, whoa, we're doing it like our 4 hours compared to their 12 hours, you know? So like back home, we're doing 4-hour sessions and you go to Atlanta and they don't even sleep. And then you're like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. So I knew I had to go somewhere. So it was either Atlanta or LA. And then for me, I felt LA was a better move because I work well with everyone. So if anyone was coming from anywhere, like out of town, out of state, anything, I was gonna meet them there. And it ended up working out because like most of the people I work with, they're not even here. It's like they call me when they are here. So like it actually like worked out perfect. So it was really a productivity thing. I wanted to like boom, boom, boom. And it's so funny now, like whenever I go somewhere that isn't here or doesn't have the same energy, I kind of get like, man, I gotta get back, you know, because it's like just everyone is working and it's never planned out here. So when I was traveling here visiting, people kept telling me, and then I'm like, listen to these people, like, man, because you know how our mentality is, we don't listen to words, we got to see it. So they were telling me, no, you got to be out here, and then I'll be able to help you, I'll be able to line you up, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then when I got here, I seen what they were talking about, because nothing really out here be planned. Everything be like, yo, we need you, can you come now? Boom, boom, boom. And then you get a placement, you get a session, you lock in, you get a new friend, like everything just really happens on the spot. So you got to be ready and ready to go.
Doesn't that add to the stress though? Like
I got forewarned. Everyone was telling me like the only way I could really help you is if you're out here. So the moment you see it, it's like, okay, now you understand what's going on. So like I got warned, you know, like people kept telling me. And when they were telling me, I didn't believe it until the very first, yo, come here, we need you now. Like, and it's still to this day, it's like that. So you kind of build a system, you know, you take naps during the day just so, you know, like if someone does call you at night, you're ready to go. Like I was explaining before we started this, sometimes you go in spurts. So you might have a week where you're working nonstop, and then there might be 3-4 days where you're just chilling. So you kind of just, you get used to it, you know? It becomes like you're a firefighter or something, you know? Like you're working for 4 days and then you chilling, you know? So
and then you're off.
yeah, and then you're off. So it's like it becomes a system. It works, and you like. I like it. I love it actually. Like I said, whenever I'm anywhere else, it feels like I'm losing.
But knowing that that was the circumstances out here, right? You uprooted your life, and you were warned that while you're out here, I can help you out, but it's not gonna be consistent. You're not gonna know when it's gonna come. That didn't add to almost a skepticism of doing so?
I never had that attitude. So I'm just now finally getting to that point in life where I'm realizing I'm a little different than most people. So I've always been in La La Land. Like I've always felt like, oh, I'm the best. Like not like in a negative way, you know, a conceited way. I just always felt blessed, you know, like I'm all knowing somehow. Why do I know this? So coming into it, I kind of already felt like I was good. Like someone had my back. Like I was going to the right place.
It's just that faith, man.
Yeah, you got to believe it.
Throwing up the Hail Mary.
Yeah, once you believe it and you believe yourself, nothing will get in your way.
With leaving, you're leaving everything behind. You're leaving everything that you called home. Everything that resonates with that. What do you feel like was the hardest thing that you had to leave behind?
Probably my nephew, yeah. But he's on the way now. So, like, now that I'm here, he's coming here, So, actually, he's going to be here in a couple months.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's he doing now?
Yeah, no, so he just, makes songs. He's building his catalog. And when he gets here, it's go time. Yep, so it's like, I see here is like the place to launch anything. Because you literally just walk into the people at the grocery store. And it's the complete opposite feel from back home where, we look at someone walking up to us and we're like, keep them away. Like out here, they want to know what you got. They want to know who you are. Like, and they give you their number before you, like, it's the moment you say, hey, I do this, this, and this. Like, take my number down. They'll give you that energy right away. But of course, you got to come welcoming. Don't come, like overwhelming, invade the space. As long as you do it, like the right way, they're gonna give you the energy you need. And I notice they look for you. So if you got the sauce, they're gonna keep calling you. People tell you, oh, Hollywood's fake, LA's fake. I don't get that. What I get is if you don't got the sauce, they ain't gonna call you back, so it's like when you get in the room with these people and they see you got it, oh, he's a good person. I need this guy around more. So it's really just like they're testing you out, and they do test you out. So people do get shots out here, like you'll get your chance. And when it is your turn, you better hit that shot, because if you don't, like, you ain't gonna get the call back, so be the best version of you at all times.
That's crazy, because I remember I saw this one podcast, and it's almost the same thing in Chicago, right? Everybody's always saying that Chicago people don't want to work together. And they were like, no, Chicago people just don't want to work with you specifically. Yeah. And that's in correlation with the fact that, there might be something about you, or there might be something that you don't do well that you think you do well. So it's not that we don't want to work, because we're willing to work with anybody that we see has the same drive and passion.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, honestly, Chicago people, to me, I feel like as individuals, I've always preached to a lot of people I know, like, Chicago builds leaders. So we're all taught how to be a leader in Chicago. So no one knows how to be a soldier, So even though your place is a soldier, you still move around like a leader. Like, we make fun of each other since we're kids. Like, it's just like, it's a crazy place, our whole energy. So being in Chicago, when you have 20 leaders, it's hard for you to stand out. But if you venture off with everything our city teaches us, you strive, you shine, because you're by yourself now. So now you can be that leader, and you can show the best version of you. So I think Chicago is amazing for that, because it gets us ready for almost anything in the world. I honestly feel that people from our place, from home, they can do anything anywhere. Because and man, I grew up in the North Side originally, so that was the beginning. And I had every race. Like, the school I went to for grade school was like called Multicultural Academy. So it was literally like a science experiment. Like, let's put this race and 4% of this race, and so I grew up eating every kind of food. I knew every religion. I kind of knew a swear word in every language, things when you're a kid, and it was just like, that actually got me ready for the rest of my life. Because now whenever I get in the room with anyone, I already know what they like and don't like, so that's why I say Chicago's a really good place, because we have everything there. So if you're really ready to venture off and this is like what you want, you're going to be ready whenever you get in the room with anyone. You know how to talk. You're going to know how to respect their space. They're never going to not want you in the room.
Going back to the fact that everybody is a leader, everybody wants to be the leader.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a natural born leader.
Exactly.
That's what we can both agree on, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody's shaped to be a leader in Chicago, but not everybody's meant to be that leader. And some people get either power hungry when they become a leader, or they just don't know how to lead people correctly. You know, there's a Cody Mack interview out there. You know Cody Mack?
I heard the name.
What's the word?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Cody Mack interview out there, and I thought it was so crazy and it was amazing that he was so self-aware about the situation that he was in at a time. And he said that he almost canceled What's the Word and let everybody go that was on his team because he didn't feel like he was in a place at that time to lead people where they needed to be. And that takes a lot of self-reflection. That takes a lot of, you know, that's strong, because when you have that self-doubt and you're almost quitting, it's like, to come back from that, that's amazing.
Yeah.
My bad, I got a little off topic.
No,
but
it's
but
good.
as far as the leadership, right? Being a good leader is knowing when, hey, I need to realign my values. You guys go do what you need to do, and when the time is right, we're gonna get back to it.
When you just said that, all I heard was, but he's super responsible. So for him to be aware and even like put that energy on him, that means he was the leader the whole time. You know, so like only leaders can, you know, like real leaders will feel that. Like what did I just seen? What movie did I just watch? And it was like a crazy little scene where it's Equalizer 3. And the old man is asking Denzel, like, you a good guy or a bad guy? And he said something like he didn't know or something, like he didn't know how to answer that. And he said only good guys answer like that. So it's like that with that situation, like he don't know, you know? So like that's the right guy.
Just being self-aware, and I think wearing your heart on your sleeve almost. Being able to be vulnerable, that's a strong part of being a leader and being a successful one.
Absolutely.
When you don't allow yourself to be real with yourself, how can you be real with others?
Anyone, right?
What are some leadership qualities you feel like you brought out to LA that have helped you be successful?
When I'm engineering, I let the artists be the artists if they have control. So like I try to preach to other engineers, like when you get in a room with someone who knows what they're doing, just listen to what they're asking you, and whatever the heck you think you know, throw it out the window and listen to what they're asking you for. So if a guy's asking you for more reverb, give them more reverb. Just because you normally don't put reverb on what you do doesn't mean they don't. You know, so you really got to hear and just listen to people. And I think that's the biggest problem with people in general. They really don't listen to what you're asking for. You know, so I try to explain to my buddies, like, we're like, when you're sitting in that seat, we're flipping burgers, you know? So if that person wants it well done, give it to them well done. Don't serve it like, this is how I envisioned it. No, like, their words are more powerful than anything. Just hear them out and get it done, you know? So like when you start doing that, you take charge, because people are like, oh, okay, this guy's actually listening to me, you know? And then you'll see when you run across those artists that need you to guide them and like, okay, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? You get those too. But for the most part, you just got to hear what they're asking you. And I think that was me listening was probably one of my biggest, you know, features. I don't know what to even call it, you know, like, but that's what got me in a lot of rooms, just like hearing what people are actually asking for. I got so lucky coming from Chicago because we work with so many aggressive people, you know, so it's not even like and it's actually like a brotherly love thing, you know, so they're only aggressive to, you know, that's how we communicate. Well, we be yelling at each other, swearing at each other, but the whole time that's your brother, you know? So it's like you go anywhere else, anytime someone gets a little aggressive, it's like funny to me now, you know, it feels like home, you know? So like it doesn't throw me off. It doesn't make me jitter. It doesn't make me, it's comfortable. So you got to also let the artist be who they are. And if them being aggressive while they record gets the best song out, let them be aggressive, you know? Like so it's like, don't interrupt the energy.
That's an important part of everything. Just like you said, even with interviewing, sitting down, you have to let the person talk. A lot of people have a bad habit of, oh, but this, oh, but that. No, this reminds me of this. And it makes it so hard to sit there and listen to the person that you're trying to hear tell the story. That's a lesson that I had to learn. This one artist, you know who King Forever is?
Sounds very familiar.
You know the Future Kings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dance, right? Yeah.
Yep. The leader. I had met him one time and he told me, he's like, you know, you don't have to show that you know everything. When you do these interviews, because I do so much research, you don't have to show you know everything. Let the artist tell the story. And At first, I didn't get it. I'm like, man, what are you talking? Like, leave me alone. And then I really started to understand, like, people don't care me telling the person's story. They want to hear the other person telling their story. So just like you said,
Yeah,
listening.
just listen. And you'll get exactly what you need.
What do you think it took for you to understand that lesson, though?
I've always kind of had that spirit. I've always been me. I don't know, maybe I was here past lives or something, but in this one, I've been listening, you know? So even growing up, it was kind of weird. As a kid, I was hanging out with the older kids, and then I was getting to watch them. I was getting to watch them, like, you know, make the mistakes in life. So that's kind of the same thing where you're seeing it ahead of time, and now you know not to do that. I seen my first friend move out when we were still in high school, and I was like, damn, man. And I seen the struggle, so I knew not to move out, as you know, until it was time, you know, like it was. I seen a lot of things. I seen one of my other buddies have a kid. I knew, okay, make sure your ass don't have no kid, because like your dreams, you know, they, whatever you're chasing, your heart will tell you, lead you somewhere else. Once you bring like a human into this world, your heart's gonna like, oh, that might not even be your dream no more. So I learned just from people watching. You know, it's like, I guess my whole life I've been a people watcher. And when I was a kid, like with my sister, she was like pretty easily like one of the coolest people in the neighborhood. And my mom would make me tag along wherever she went, you know, as a kid. So since a kid, I was always around like an older crowd. And, you know, it's just like anything in life, you soak it up. So I was really just watching the whole time. It was the kind of way my life was made. It kind of shaped me, because you know, as a kid, you're not going to be talking in a room full of, you know, grown-ups. You're just happy to be there. You're going to shut the hell up. Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
literally.
you're just going to be there and be like, okay, cool. And that's kind of how it shaped me.
So I want to take it back real quick. Going back to your nephew, you had to leave him behind, and you mentioned that that was the hardest thing. How did you see that affect you mentally while you were out here?
It didn't affect me mentally in a negative way. It did it in a positive way. It made me like get more focused, because like now when he's here, I'm ready to, like, you know, kick down all the doors. So it was more like, let's get there. Let's see who we need to know, what their comfort zone is. You know, you always learn someone's comfort zone, because the moment you make them uncomfortable, they won't want you around no more. So like, it just made me sharper, honestly. So it was like, you know, you got to go away for school. You know, people do 4 years of school. Our school is different. So we still need to go to school though. So like, this is my school. I came out, learned it. This is my 4 years of college. Boom, boom, boom. So now that way you're a professor at what you do, whatever degree you're going after. This is the degree we're going after. So like, it's like school to me. So it made me more focused, more sharper. Like, never make mistakes. Don't offend nobody. Don't like anything. You know, like, it just teaches you, makes you sharp.
Do you see yourself pursuing success for him, or do you see yourself pursuing the success for you then?
Well, it's for everyone, you know, like, it's really for everyone. As long as I get where I need to get, to me, I feel like I know so many talented people that as long as we just plug people in, they're gonna know what to do. So it's like, it's just a matter of that first face and their word meaning something. So like, the moment your word means something, you can literally say, "Yo, I just need you to have a meeting," and because your word means something with you, from through you, they're gonna sit down and have that meeting with that person. And then from there, like, you already know how talented that person is. They're gonna blow them out the water. You know, they're gonna be like, "Damn, where the hell you been at?" You know, like, so it's just like, you kind of start to feel it. You know, you just know. So like, really, I'm focused on my success, because I know it's gonna bring everyone else's success easily.
And I think that that conveys the idea that you're a leader. I think for you specifically, because you're not even really, you understand the effects that it's going to bring, but you're not out here chasing it. You're just doing what you do for real. And that's the important part, because a lot of people get lost chasing ideas. They get lost chasing almost dreams and fantasies. You're making your dreams reality. And in doing that, you're making other people's dreams reality as well.
They got, you know, people need to see it. Once you, like with anything in life, if you could see it, you'll believe it. So it's like, damn, Lou went out there, he's doing da, 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 da. It's like now you're gonna go out there and da 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 da. You know, like just that simple. You know, like we need to see things. We're like from where we're from, we got to see it because everyone talks. So once you see it, it means something more.
Once you're there, it makes it real.
It'd be funny sometimes I'd be in the room with people that like I was a super fan of, like as a kid, you know, and then I'm just realizing how calm I am around them now. It just like shows me, oh, this is where you're supposed to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm not. I thought I would fan out. Though I did fan out one time out here. Well, this was like in the first year. It was actually I was actually at a Hxliday session. It's so funny, and I was walking outside to get a jacket or something because the studios be freezing, man. And I seen DMX, and like when I was a kid, man, I bought like the same DMX CD 3 times. It was CDs,
God.
you know, so it was like you get a scratch on it. I had to get that CD so many times, but like I seen him and I fanned out. I was like, damn, DMX. I was like, man, can I get a picture? Can I get your email? I'll send you beats, right? And then his friend, it was so funny. His friend was like, man, which one you want? You want the picture or the email? And I was like, man, I want both. You know, I felt like a kid, you know, like, and then I was like, this shit is great. But it was just so funny, like, that I actually did have a moment where I like became a fan for a split second, you know. But after that, I don't think I ever had another moment. All the other ones were just like, okay.
You got both?
Hell yeah, I got both. Yeah.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off, but I'm like,
I
damn.
definitely got both. I definitely got both. And it was so funny. It was hilarious because I love Belly. I love the movie Belly. And he was wearing a Balenciaga shirt that had the Belly cover on it. And I'm like, it don't get no better than this.
And it's crazy how fast that flip happens, that you have to become comfortable with these people and not be a fan for real.
You just got to be yourself. Like, you're in the room for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So understand that. And once you understand that, it comes together.
I remember that shit when I first started this. There weren't very moments where there weren't a lot of moments where I would get nervous or I'd be like, oh shit, like this person's the real deal. But I did see that happen in certain instances. And when I would have these conversations, you know, you could tell when you're a little nervous and you're kind of stuttering. And as time went on, I just kind of became numb to that. You know, I started interviewing, like, you know, we've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of people.
Yeah, that's definitely seen it. Yeah.
Most recently, I think, you know, to a level is an NBA player, Rashawn Holmes. Like, I didn't expect to interview him. His people reached out and, you know, we made it happen. And that was crazy because I was like, oh shit, like, this is the part where people start to see the product and they're like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take it to a lyric real quick.
Okay.
And the song I chose was Everything Will Be Okay by G-Eazy. And he says, I had to chase it, face it. I wasn't born to live a life basic.
Yeah. No, you feel it. You feel it.
What was the moment that made you truly realize I'm meant to be here?
Man, I'm probably just a delusional human, honestly. So, like, as a kid, man, I thought I was going to the NBA. I just always knew it was something more. You know, my soul knew it. You know, like you're gonna do something bigger than everyone else. So, you know, as a kid, you're always like, oh, boom, boom, boom. And it was so funny. I used to wake up early, super early to hoop. I was already building work ethic and I didn't even know it, just off of what my desires was, you know? So, you know, you're a kid, you think you're trying to go to NBA your whole life. You're already, you know, your head is already in a different place. So you already feel, you know, like better than the room. Like, I keep saying that, but it's not in a negative way, not trying to like be like you're conceited.
No, yeah.
You just know, you know, like you're the person for the job. Like, I also even explained to one of my other buddies, he was asking me like, bro, why do you show me so much stuff? And then I was like, because if we're in the room together, I know they're gonna pick me, you know, like, cause I know how to make them feel comfortable. I know how to, like, there's still one more extra thing you gotta learn, you know, like the talent. And that's what I really found out here. That's when it really became like stamped that you're gonna meet people who have just as much talent as you, but what separates you from them is how you make the room feel. So that's when you learn, like, oh, this is extremely important. I got to work on my people skills. I got to work on my comfort, you know, like filling people out. And I met like spiritual people in my life and they tell me like I'm an empath or something. So like you can kind of feel people's, I don't know, you know, if that's what I am, but from what I've heard, people like, oh, you can kind of like you always fill the room out. So I just got lucky, blessed. But I learned it out here, man. You run across all these engineers and producers, and everyone is good. Everyone is like amazing. It's the best of the best. Everyone leaves home, they come here, and you're around the best of the best. And it rubs off on you very quick. So whatever you didn't know, you will learn that day. And if you have the sauce, just a little bit of it, and you have the right mentality, the room's gonna show you what you don't know. But if you have a little bit of sauce and a horrible attitude, they ain't even gonna talk to you. They're gonna just be like, let his ass, drown. Let him drown. So, but I noticed as soon as everyone, like, always came with a smile on my face. The other engineers were showing me stuff like, yo, you should try this, and this. Like I didn't know like hardware. I didn't know analog gear. When I got out here, I was taught it by engineers younger than me, like because they touch it every day. And you learn it so fast as long as you listen.
Were you always so open to criticism and learning?
Absolutely.
Was there a reason why?
I was raised by like women. So I don't think I ever had aggression in my life as a kid. It was always like, damn, these women are my sisters, my mom, they're taking care of me, So it was always with love, So it was like I never had to not listen. Whenever they were talking, it was probably for a good reason. I was probably doing some stupid, like I better listen, like they had my best interest from the beginning.
How important do you feel like being raised by all women was to you?
It balanced me out. Whatever was in me naturally, like, cause I still have that, bro, where we come from, you can't fight it. We just have a certain energy about us. Even the nice people are a little tough. It's like people don't understand our city just it create and it's so funny. I always tell people that shit'll trickle down to Aurora. Like I literally tell people like the energy is so strong that it's like a ring, and it like people that that it's just how we all operate, and we could yell at each other and not fight each other. Like it's just how we communicate. So I think that balance helped more than anything. Like because all that aggression it's in the air out there. So you don't need it in the house. Like you're going to get it at school. You're going to get it at the park. You're going to get it, all that stuff. You just going to get it.
And I feel it with your energy, man. I feel that it's almost like a nurturing sense. And it's very calm and just friendly.
Yeah.
Which is appreciated because, once again, coming from Chicago, you never know who is going to run into the room. You never know who's going to walk in, and the way that you got to switch. Going back a little bit, when I talk about that moment that really made you realize, you're in the right space, is there a specific session that you feel made it seem like, damn, I made the right choice coming out to LA?
I don't know. I don't think I kind of just knew I was in the right space. What does happen to me is like when I be doing certain sessions, at the end of the night, I'll be like, whoa, I just did a session with this guy. Just the other day, I did a session with DJ Who Kid. And I used to listen to DJ Who Kid's mixtapes all the time when I was, right? And like the whole time I'm cool. But then when I got home, I was like, damn, I just did a session with DJ Who Kid. It didn't kick in until like, man, I listened to all his mixtapes, So it was like, I guess like my spirit knows, like it adjusted already. So it's like I can't even. Those moments don't hit me. They like kind of hit me at the end of the night. It's kind of weird. So it's like I don't think I had a specific moment. I just knew that I was always doing. I like from the beginning. I'm trying to tell you, I might be delusional or something. From the beginning, I already just always felt like this is what I was supposed to do. It was just. And like I was saying, I loved basketball, and obviously it didn't work out because I'm not in the NBA. But it's the same energy. It's the same energy. It's like you're the best of the best. So I've always had that in my spirit. Like you're gonna be, like, and I tell people a lot, I'm not gonna tell you I rollerblade because I don't, so you're never gonna hear me say I rollerblade, like in fact, the time I tried, I damn near broke my wrist. So it was like, like I know what I'm good at. So there's never been a moment I just know like, okay, I could do this. Let's go do it.
I think as creatives, that's what happens a lot of the times, right? It's a feeling. It feels like that destiny, like I was meant to do this. I'm meant to be here. And when you're good at it, it just reaffirms that purpose. And you find yourself in these rooms, you find yourself in these situations where you don't think about it when it's happening, but like you said, you go home and you're like, damn, I really
Damn,
just did
you
that
really
for
just
real.
did that.
But basketball,
Yeah.
how important to you was that growing up?
It was everything, man. It was everything. It built routine. I didn't know. Like I didn't even know I had routine. Same thing with school. Like people say, oh, school's not important. What school to me was routine. So like it's not what you're learning from it, it's how you're doing it. Like you wake up every morning, we gotta do this. So it's like whether you need to learn history or not, it's still teaching you to get up and get after something. Like go to school, do this, and also it works on your social skills. It's actually really crazy. I was just telling someone the other day, like I was sad when I graduated. It was like everyone was happy, and that's how I knew I was a little different too. I was like looking around, I'm like, you guys ain't gonna ever see me again, you know? And I knew it. I knew it. I was like, a couple of you will bump into me, but for the most part, the rest of you guys ain't gonna see me. And I kind of got down, you know, like in the moment where everyone else is, yeah, you know. So I already knew, like, I knew where I was going.
So throughout this conversation, we've talked a lot about the process of getting to LA and the things that it's taught you, making sure that you're patient, making sure that you're listening to people. You can run into somebody and don't make things happen for you. You just got to be ready and show and prove.
Yeah.
What was it about music that created this passion in the first place?
I always just had a thing for music. As when I was a kid, I bought CDs every Tuesday. Like CDs came out on Tuesday. I used to remember going to Maywood because there was a record shop that used to get the CDs on Friday. So they would sell them motherfuckers as soon as they got them, they're selling them, you know, sell it, boom. And you get a CD early and you're just like the coolest person in the world. You know, this is before like we could download it and all that. I remember I traveled to some DJ shop way up north. It was like on Devon and Lincoln to get a DMX, the Blood In Blood Out CD early, you know, like, so it was like, I don't know, I was just always after it. I don't know, it was kind of crazy. I always knew that this is my passion. I didn't know I was gonna make it. I didn't know I was gonna start making it because, like, again, I would thought I was hooping. And my buddy in high school, he was like, "Yo, this one kid from other school, he went to a private school, and he's like, he makes beats." And when he said that, my heart was like, I want to try that. You know, like I didn't even know. You know, like, and I didn't even know I was gonna make music. So I was like, but my heart wanted to try that, and I never got to go to that kid's house, but that was the first time that I seen, like when I think back, like, oh, you did want music. When I was in grade school, I was in like a marching band and the gym teacher put the drums in my hand, like the snare drum. So like the universe and God was shaping me for this. I didn't know though, because my brain, I'm hooping every day, you know, like, but the whole time it was music. It was music the whole time. And I graduated. I started late. I started music late. I graduated. I went to school for sound, for car audio. So I was installing like sound systems, custom sound systems, car alarms, all that. When I went there, it taught me sound. I learned the frequency chart because they were telling me what's the best frequencies for bass, what's the best frequency for highs. So I didn't even like the unit. Like I'm trying to tell you, the universe kind of just shaped me for where I was going. Yeah, and then I just heard the College Dropout album, and I was like, bro, we got to make music, bro. What are we doing? And I didn't even start making music like Kanye. I just made music in general. You know, I knew it wasn't for me to catch his sound. It was just like when I heard that sound, I was like, yeah, there's more out here. You know, there's like, let's get to it. Let's get to it. And it just went from there. It just went from there, and it was like with anything, it was the routine. So I took the routine from basketball, put it to the music, and man, the funniest thing, a huge like important part of my life. There was you know Shondell, he's 92.3.
I think so.
So he's like close to the family, and he came to my basement one day where I had my setup right, and he's like, "Oh, you doing music now? This is like one of the most important." I remember this day in my whole life, and he's like, he got a good soul, you know, like good energy. So like he'll laugh in your face, you know, like no problem. So it like that kind of helps though. And I was like, he's like, oh, you doing music now? He's like, you're gonna do it, huh? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm about to be on like in 2 months, right? I'm like, I'm gonna take off right away. And he's like, man, you're gonna be doing this for a long time, laughing, saying it, you know? And then like when he said that, I felt it. I was like, oh yeah, okay. So if there ever was a time that I was like, damn, this shit is it was that moment, it's like I still remember that moment. Like he was laughing while he said it. Like, you're gonna be doing this, you know, like, and that helped me for my whole career, really.
Did that process and that journey in music ever seem daunting to you?
No, never. I just, I mean, I have that spirit, you know, like just do it, you know, like get up, do it. And coming from like when I was working, doing car audio, and I used to do home theater install too. So I used to like install surround sounds in houses and TVs. You troubleshoot. And troubleshooting is probably one of the most important things in life. If you can come up with the answer to a problem in seconds, you're gonna be good at anything you do. You know, so like those jobs taught me how to troubleshoot. Like, why isn't that speaker working? And you don't want to chase the whole wire, so you're gonna figure out short, quick ways to do it. I had these older guys. Like when I became an installer, it was me and my buddy Justin. We were like the youngest installers in the company, and we had the older guys showing us like I remember one guy made me break a bolt on purpose. He's like, keep going, keep going. And then he's like, see that? That's how far you can go. It's like, so you know, like, and the bolt just snapped as I was drilling it into a stud. And I was like, damn. So like he showed me this is how far you can go, you know, and like little moments like that, you know, they just stick.
So what was it that music provided you with? Because there's a lot of people who look at music as an escape. They look at it as an easy way out.
Yeah.
We all know it's not an easy way out because this shit takes forever.
Yeah.
But what did it provide you with?
Comfort. Comfort. So every time I did it, time would go by fast. Like I would get just lost in it. I like even to this day, oh, we got a session? Let's go. It doesn't even feel like work. It does not feel like work. You know, it's just you going into the studio and you're doing what you love. And once you really love it and you accept it, it's like you're learning every day now. Like every day I feel like I learned something new.
What is it you needed comforting from?
I didn't need it. I guess I wanted it. I just want, you know, everyone wants to be comfortable. And that's where I found my place. So like I know a phrase I say a lot is control your environment. So I always kind of tell my friends, oh, you're trying to get somewhere? That's cool. Just make sure you control your environment because you put the wrong people by you and now you're having a bad 3 days, a bad 4 days. So I guess I always just knew how to keep myself comfortable. And the music world is where I'm most comfortable because the people that do it are like more or less like me, you know? So we instantly, you know, we could be from completely different aspects of life, but when you get in the room to make music, you guys are best friends. So there's just something about it, you know? So it's like the music brings people together. I mean, even when we look at all these old TV shows and movies of rap groups and bands and stuff, I just seen the Wu-Tang thing. I was a huge Wu-Tang fan, right? I had no clue that Ghostface and Raekwon were into it. I just seen the show on Hulu and these motherfuckers were into it with each other. And I'm like, whoa, they're into it? I would have never known. But the music brought them together. So it just goes to show like how comfortable people can get with music.
The universal language that everybody understands, and it allows people to become that much closer.
And you know, the gift is so rare. So when you meet somebody else with it and like, damn, you got it on the level I got it on, okay, we are supposed to be in the room together. So whatever beef you had with that person, whatever, it kind of just goes out the window. Yeah, like I've seen it too. I've seen it. Like, damn, you guys ain't even into it no more. You guys are making songs now. It's like it doesn't happen as much in our city, but one day it will.
Who have you found yourself having that type of connection with?
Almost everyone from back home. You know, like I'd be like with Reese. Never thought I'd be so close to Reese. You know, like I'm super close to Reese. Doughboy, same. You know, like it's an energy thing. I lock in with Doughboy quick. It's kind of crazy. I kind of lock in with everyone. I'm real close with Pyrex. Noza, I lock in with Noza. I just kind of just fill the room. It's hard to answer that because I just get everyone I'm with right now. It feels like a blessing. I feel like God's putting people that match my energy by me on purpose. So I really haven't had any bumps. The only time that I would say when I do record and it's like a challenge. It's a challenge. It's not even a real challenge. It's like a challenge because my ear. When I record Jeremiah, like I record Jeremiah every now and then, and since I was young, I've always thought he had the best voice. Like he's like probably one of my favorite singers, you know, like, and when I record him, he wants you to like tell him what you think is good. And it's like, bro, you sound amazing. You know, like every take you do sounds great. So I'm like, yeah, that's good. You know, like, and he's like, no, do it again. And I'm like, all right. So it's like that's probably the only challenge I really have in this is like telling someone something's good and they're like, oh no, it's not, you know? Like, but to me it sounds amazing.
It's that perfectionist aspect, man. You want everything to be perfect and you want it to sound the way that you want it to sound. And I think that sometimes that can get misunderstood and misconstrued by the people around you because you'll ask for advice and you'll ask for the opinions. And it's not that you don't care about it. It's just that you know in your head it might be wrong. And then they're like, he don't really give a fuck about our opinions. I'm like, no, we do. It's just, bro, like I have a vision and it's no offense to anybody, but I want it to be that way. At the end of the day, what do you feel like would make you most fulfilled in this music shit?
Becoming a legend. Like, I don't think I'm after fame or nothing, but I do want everyone to remember my name. Like that's something in my heart that I know exists. I just want, you know, like, okay, that's the guy for it. You know, like right now, when you hear Dr. Dre, you know him. Whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you know him. If you hear Michael Jordan, you know him. You know, like so that's what I want. I want where you just know me. You know, like no matter how you know it, you know it.
From where you're at right now, how do you feel like you get there?
Just work every day. Just stay consistent. I've like even in my journey now, I've seen like where I wanted to be, you know, having that 2-month mentality, telling Shondell, I'm gonna get here in 2 months. Like and then seeing it actually happen. I got so lucky I locked in with Seasick for I was working with this independent label, Phenomenal, and we had Seasick in the room with us every day. So I used to see Seasick knock out 5 beats and I'm knocking out 1 beat. And I was like, okay, his work ethic is way better, you know? So it taught me to work harder. You know, it was just like, okay, this ain't gonna work doing it the way you've been doing it. I ended up switching programs. I started jumped to FL. Like you just have to adjust where you're going. And that's honestly the biggest theme in today. You have to adjust on what's going on. Like, because if you look back and pay attention to what everyone was saying in the past, people were always talking bad about, like, oh, what's this new Pro Tools program? What's this new digital program you're making beats on? People always talk bad about what's new. So if you get that out your system and don't let that even exist, and when something new comes, you learn how to use it instead of running from it because it's not what you know, you'll get further faster. So it's like adjust. Like AI is big right now and people are talking bad about it. But if you learn how to use it in your favor, it's going to be your favorite tool.
Going back to the leadership, you become a leader in that aspect. And now you're one of the first people that have taken advantage of it, which allows you to get there that much quicker,
faster,
right?
Yeah.
Look at all these streamers. I'm sure like Kai Cenat and Aiden Ross aren't the first ones to do it, but they were on it so early that now they're considered the biggest streamers
ones,
ever.
Yeah.
And then also look at TikTok, right? All those people that blew up off of TikTok, everybody was like, man, fuck that shit. I'm not using that. They blew up off that and made millions.
Millions. Like, damn kid doesn't even say a word. He just smiles. And he's the number 1 looked up theme. Like, you find your theme, run with it.
Well, I appreciate you sliding. Yeah. It was an amazing conversation.
Man, it was amazing. Yeah.
One last thing. You worked with DIDDY, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that right now?
From where I was at, it was a lot of hard work. It was like all I seen was they're perfectionists. You know, like he gets the best of the best in the room. I'm seeing like these top producers that made some of my favorite songs as a kid, and I'm seeing how they work. They just lock in. They just work hard. They're like, and it was like from seeing the older guys do it to seeing the younger guys do it. The one thing I noticed with everyone is they all work hard. Like they never stop working. They never stop working. And you'll be in 15, 19-hour sessions. And it's like, you'll get some downtime, but when it's go time, boom, you better get up and be ready to go. Cause it's a bug, you know? So You live in the studio all day, you don't know when you're gonna get that itch and when you're gonna get the hook or anything. So as soon as it comes, you gotta be ready to hit record, boom, anything. So like being around them actually taught me a lot how to be more sharp. Just because they have these old tricks that we don't know, you know? And they're all of them tricks, they all add up. But it was honestly, I learned a lot from being around them because what I'm after, they have already, you know? So it's like you see it and then you get in the room with these people and you see you're really, you know, you're in the right room, you know, like, okay, these motherfuckers, they know what they're doing. They're the best of the best. These guys come play the keys and everything sounds great. It's like, okay, everyone is doing the right thing. But I didn't see no weird stuff or nothing. It was just all studio atmosphere. We did a camp.
You didn't end up at a Diddy party?
Nah, I mean the studio was there. Like the studio was damn near a party. Just felt like good, you know, good energy. I didn't pick up on no and like to me with that whole situation, in anything in life, I feel like people put themselves where they want to be. So if someone's saying, "Oh, this weird happened to me," it's like you put yourself in that room. You know, like I ain't never walked in no room and like, "Hey guys, what are you guys doing in here?" Hell, you know, like because I'm not asking for that. You know, like so most people put themselves where they want to be, and then they might switch the story to their benefit to benefit them later. But I promise you, the moment you decided to go in that room, you wanted to be there. You know, so it's like I didn't pick up any weird stuff though. But I don't know what's going on. But like when it was music time, it was music time. And actually from that situation, I ended up meeting the best of the best engineers here. So now we all know each other. So if I can't pick up a job or I'm in a job, I can recommend someone who's just as good as me.
You got a placement on that one?
I worked on the Boo Hoo track with Jeremih, but I didn't do much on it. I just like recorded some ideas. But that was the one track that I for sure worked on. And then you work on so many tracks because they're just working nonstop. But that was the one that made the project.
A credit's a credit, man.
Like I probably didn't even get the credit for it. Like I know I didn't, but like I know I was there. You know, like. But that another thing in my heart, my whole life I haven't been getting credits. Like you said, it was so hard to find stuff on me. It's because it's never been my thing. I've always wanted my own thing. So, and I know I'm gonna get it. So I don't need yours. You know, like I don't even care. It's kind of crazy because I know once mine hits, it's gonna be like a problem. So that's what I'm really waiting on.
We're gonna leave off there, bro. Man, I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you having me. Yeah.
Make sure you guys go ahead, keep an eye out for Em Louie. Hey, he's producing shit you don't even know he's producing. He's working on shit you don't even know he's working on. Make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Sad Boys for real. Peace out.